Hello and welcome, I am Parkera and welcome to what I hope will be a new series. This is EU4 or Europa Universalis number 4. It's a strategy game of global conquest, if you like, or just trying to expand your empire or your country. You can start from England or you can start as a teeny tiny country. What we're going to do today, because I do actually quite like playing as this nation, but we're going to kick off with the Mamluks. Now, just before we do that, I'll just let you know that generally the base game goes from 1444 to about 1821. Okay, so you can get mods that expand either way the timeline, but for today we are just going to be kicking it with the regular timeline and all the DLC at the moment that's installed, which is everything. So let's click into the Mamluks, and without further ado, and then we'll go over and we'll just do an experience on different levels. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will answer them the best I can or direct you to places where you can get better information. So we start off as Mamlukan Sultanate in 1444. We can just get this pop up now. It gives you a bit of a rundown on the Sultanate and the history of the empire and or your country. Depends on how, you know, what you start there. Also, you got the religion tab, so that gives us the religion. So we're Sunni, and chance of a new heir, cavalry, and any perks or things you get. Government, which tells you the government type, what, you know, and just basically lets you know, gives you more information about each sort of variety of things that you've chosen, or what that nation, empire, country has, or tribe has got going for it, really. So we'll just close that anyway. Okay, so before I go into the game, we'll just go over all these things. I'm hoping you can see the mouse. If not, I'll try and describe what we're going to click into. So we'll start on the upper right hand corner here. So the very upper right hand corner of the screen, we've got the date and basically the speed settings. Okay, now just underneath that we have the outliner, so you can click on the plus button and toggle to what you want or do not want to see. Pretty much this is how I have it, fairly default, and it will depend on what is happening or what you got doing. It will show you just some bits and pieces. Right now, straightforward basic game is just showing what we have here. So at the top, the diplomats, merchants, armies and navies. Down here is basically notification window. At the beginning of the game it's usually empty. I always click best guess as well. Underneath it here, this little next window is our map modes. So we can click on this first one here, which is terrain. We then have political, trade, okay, diplomatic. We then have religious, and I also had unrest. Okay, I'll go into more details as we need to. You can click on these and add extra to it, and then underneath, so this here is obviously a little bit of your map here. You can plus into this if you want. Then we have the menu, the ledger, history, modifiers and other things like this. Okay, and we won't really be looking at these in this series or game because they don't really reflect for us, but we have two tabs. One's for the Holy Roman Empire, so if I click that open you get a little noise there. That just tells you who the emperor is of the Holy Roman Empire, so currently it's Austria, and it just tells you some of the reforms, who's the electors and who's part of the empire and things like that. Again, doesn't really affect us because we're nowhere near it. And same to this, Emperor of China. It's only relevant if you are the empire of China. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll just come over here and you'll see this emblem here. So that's basically our country view. We shortcut F1 as it says, or you can just click the button and it'll give you some other options. Before I do that, we'll just cover some other basic things. Underneath or attached to this, we have a production interface. So it's basically a lot of shortcuts on here. Okay, I will go in that in a little bit more detail as we need to. It basically just gives you some quick outliners, some things like production, for example, diplomacy, and this little button here does the great powers. It shows you all the great powers in the world. Now you'll see that we're actually number 2. So what that does, by being a great power, you actually get more or different diplomatic interactions that you can do with other countries. Now here you can see with the Mamluks, okay, and in this game there's 3 sorts of things called power. So there's admin power, diplo power, and military power. Each thing you can cash them in for various things. So basically, and you accumulate them through certain actions, and you use them to advance in technology. You can use them for you can use them for different things, really. Like military, you can use them to suppress some revolts and things like that. We again will touch base into them. That's the age we're in, the age of discovery. There is other ages, as we'll touch on each time it comes through. Now just underneath this blue little bar here, underneath our name, we've got some little pop-ups. They always come. Okay, you can dismiss them or just keep them there. So like right click usually dismisses it. Okay, just tells you some heads up. I'm going to click those so you can see unclick. Now above this line here, above our name, next to our shield, we have the amount of gold, amount of manpower, amount of sailors. Okay, so manpower reflects our army, so that's basically our pool of troops that we can pull from to create new armies or to reinforce. Next, the same as for the sailors as well. We have stability, and that ranges generally from +3 to -3. We then have corruption, prestige. So this is, prestige affects many things, how likely other nations are to accept our proposals, royal marriages and things like that. Okay, legitimacy, it's basically a measure of how our monarch or our head of state is viewed, okay, by our subjects as well as others. And we have power projection. So this is also the amount of power that we project to other countries. It does affect our relationships and things like that. And next to them, you just got little tabs. It's like showing you merchants, colonists, diplomats, and also missionaries, how many are available and how many we have active. As you can see, we've got 3 free. Okay, so what we're going to do here now is click into this button here, production interface, and we're going to go to, it's already selected on diplomacy, so I'll just go through all these tabs in detail, a little bit detail. So we've got land units. Basically just tells us how many land units we have. These are the ones that we can recruit later on in the game. This will change as you select what sort of troops you have, including cannons. Mercenaries we can recruit in any templates. Down here at the very bottom of this tab, you'll see in green there's a number, 32 over 41. So that means we can go up to a maximum of 41 army troops. And we currently have 32, and that shows us the configuration of our army and anything in production. Okay, that repeats again in there for the naval. These are other buttons that I hardly touch, but I'll touch on them a little bit today. So that make cores. It's just a way we can make territories into cores, so we can administrate them into our sort of culture, I guess. Missionaries, local autonomy, culture. Buildings is one that we do use. At the moment everything is red because A, we can't afford it, and B, also we just don't have the technology. So at the moment all we can do is forts. So if I click on forts, there's a list. Okay, we can just click on that and we'll build, or you can click on each province and you'll see this little hammer there. If I zoom in, you can see this little hammer. Hopefully you can see it. Anyway, if you look at the colours, so green is where you can build, and basically the purple colour is what's already currently existing. Okay. We also then have development, estates, diplomacy, and exploit development. So we're going to click on the diplomacy screen here because this is a very nice shortcut. It helps us use our diplomats. So basically we can set diplomats here to automatically do things, and we're going to set one up now today. So by clicking this, I'm going to send a diplomat to automatically, and there's a name there, see, he's there, and he'll go around and target nations that are nations that are local to us or neighbours, and improve relationships with them. And you'll see over here now under the diplomats in the outliner that shows you the name of the diplomat, and he's green, so that means he's working. It says idle right now, but as soon as I unpause, it will show that he's doing work. Okay, we've got one spare, so let's send another one to, well, let's improve some relations with our own subjects, which will be vassals or countries like that. Alright, now let's have a look and see who would like an alliance. So again, we've got tabs up here. I should really cover them first. So we've got alliance tab, influence tab, dynasty tabs, economy tabs. This is a papal action, but we're not a papal controller. We're not the Pope. Again, this is for HRE. We're not in the HRE. And great powers. This is available to us because we are a great power and things we can do. Okay, so let's just go back here to the alliance. Click on that, and it's going to highlight in different colours. So obviously green means they're going to be acceptable to an alliance. Red means yeah, nah. Okay, I'm also going to stick here and then just go to royal marriages. So who's going to accept a royal marriage? Okay. So for example, I want to just look at something here. You'll see that Tunis will say red currently won't accept a royal marriage, but if I click on an alliance, they will. Okay, I like to generally back up alliances with a royal marriage, and we're a pretty big nation. Our main rivals here are going to be the Ottomans, mostly. They'll be the biggest threat to us, and probably the Timurids usually, and Kuara Krule usually start out with one. So I'm not really sure if Tunis will be a valid allied member right now. I usually do like to expand south first, or at least take out these countries and then nick this way. But so I'm not really sure where we're going to go for an alliance, because that also means that we can get caught into their wars. So we do kind of want to just play safe as to who we're going to ally with and things like that. So I'm going to let's go with Tunis. I actually think because that could become a problem later on if they expand. So we're going to offer them an alliance. Now you'll see up here again, if we click on up here to the outliner, that we've got a diplomat, and it shows he's returning in 17 days. That's the guy we've just sent to Tunis to offer the alliance. We'll get a notification soon when we unpause the game. Further details. So that's that. Further information. Trying to get this done for you. I'll just cover the tabs. I won't go into too much detail. I'll do a lot more detail as we actually click into things, I think. So this is basically our court. It tells us who our sultan is, tells us his stats. So he's earning us 2 diplomatic, 2 admin, and 3 military power. Every few years they kind of get a different personality trait, and you'll see that he's got 2 already. So one's a silver tongue, it gives us our positives and what it does. Obviously this is a negative, and next one it will tell us if you hover over. The good thing is in this game, the tooltips, so if you have them on, it gives you a lot of information. Down here is where we can hire advisors, which will again add to how much diplomatic, admin and military power we earn per month, and that's reflected in here. So if I hover over here, if that breakdown is going to be the same here. Okay, then we click into the government tab. This just lists our government type and some actions that we can do, any country modifiers, and strengthen government if we have enough power, as well as cultural actions we can make there, and these all grayed out. This is part of the new DLC, which I really will touch on and play with, because I'm not too sure, to be honest, how we're going to go with those. And again, it will just show you some positives and negatives about some things in the government. Diplomacy, so you'll see that it was still in Tunisia, or Tunis, because that's who we last did a diplomatic action with. So we can just click down here. There's a little eye above the flag. That'll take us to our screen, and you'll see that if you noticed before, one of the pop-ups, it was a flagging that we had too few rivals, and that's because we have none. So as a nation, we need probably our size at least 2 or 3 before we get kind of in the penalty. So we're going to go and rival back the Ottomans, and again the pop-up will tell us what it means and what we can do and things like that. Who have we got? Venice and Kuara Krule. So yep, I'll leave. I'm not going to worry about Venice, and we're going to go with, they've got less. Yep, Kuala Krule. I think we will do that. Excellent. Cool. I'll leave the 2 for now. I think this should be okay without suffering a penalty. Down here it will list other nations around us and their attitudes. We can sort that by name or opinion. Neighbours, there's further tabs here as well. That's feedback and actions as well. Over here, again, that's our flag, Mamluks Sultanate. It tells us that we're the Sunni religion. It's going to show our sultan or our emperor or, you know, prime minister or whatever head of state is. Here it shows us this is the diplomatic relations. So currently we're allowed 4 and we're at 4. Now I've just offered an alliance to Tunis, right? So if we hover over this, it's going to show us that we already have existing alliances with Cyprus, Fadel, Hijaz and Medina. So we're going to get one with Tunis if they accept the alliance, which is going to put us over. That will then accrue a penalty. So one of these I need to probably get rid of. I can either incorporate a vassal, it takes a little bit of time, or I can stop guaranteeing the independence of a nation. I'll think about that. Diplomatic reputation, so that shows us our reputation here with other countries, and it's just, if you read there, it tells us what it's about and how we can improve, and also our improved relations. Okay, these are just some modifiers and information about our nation. Government rank, so what sort of a rank we are, where it shows that we're a kingdom, and as well as our technology. Okay. Money. This is finances. This goes into some good detail. Income and expenditure. You can move these sliders to change. So we're not currently at war. I don't envision us being at war right now. So let's just show something. So you'll see we're currently spending 9.37 army. We'll drag that down. And now, if you noticed, this has gone up. Okay, so again, I'll drag that up. It's gone from 3.3 ducats a month down to 8, up to 8. So this is monthly. Okay, so we're earning 8 a month. Little buttons down here, that runs to get loans, and these are grayed out. I'll try and touch on them more when I actually do it, if I recall. Alright, so trade, this is our trade screen. It shows us our centers of trades or trade nodes, anything we're earning, and if we can send or change our merchants. This is a breakdown on just trade. And this is how, main thing is, this is how much money we're earning from trade, okay? And that obviously shows in here when you go to trade, okay? And it will give, last month we got 7.65 from trade, okay? Technology, again, the admin dip and military technology, so the points go into this, enables us to research various buildings, army types, governmental types. It's endless, it's varied. And also, once we get to a certain stage, we can start unlocking ideas. I'll touch on that more when we get to it. But they basically allow a lot of modifiers and a lot of, changes. This is where our mission tab is. So we got national decisions, policies, and just current missions. So our current mission here is to improve relations with Fizan. So I think we will do that. When this guy returns, we'll take that mission. So I'll click that now. If we click it, it shows us our objective and our reward. We can cancel it. If we cancel it, we won't get any more missions into the following year. This is our stability and expansion. It just shows us our overextension, any rebels, any issues here. So at the moment, it's all grayed out, but we'll touch on that as we need to. Religion, we're the Sunni religion. Shows us our tolerance and religious unity. Shows down here the lists of states that we can send missionaries to. Right now there's no point because it's going to take too long. The ... dots mean there's basically no one in time it's going to take to convert the province, so it's really endless. This is a new part here also with the DLC. It's you can go towards Mississgum, and legalism, okay? Mystical or legalism, and some other little bits and pieces. Military, another part of the new one is the drilling, which affects army professionalism. So the more you drill your army, the more that will go up. To drill an army, you click into the army and select drill. Not sure if you can do it when they're inactive like we've made them. We'll see. Down here we'll give you varying stats of our armed forces. So this is naval and land forces, and we can mothball the forts. Now remember, we were about 8 ducats a month because we lowered our maintenance in our army. So we're going to press mothball all forts. This ungarrisons the forts that we have, and our forts are now red. If we click quickly back to finance, you'll see now we're earning 11 ducats a month. That's not a bad income, especially for start game. Okay, and from here we can recruit admirals, generals. We can add a leader or a regent into the armed forces as commander. So this is our army tech and our naval. So we can click into here, for example, and change to a foot soldier if I want to. Okay, so this is our subjects tab. Because we have 2 vassals, this is available to us. If I click on this, it gives me more actions that I can do. I'll touch on that a little bit more. If you don't have any vassals, basically that's going to be there's another, I can't remember, subjects. That's going vassals or subjects. You won't have that tab. And then the last one is estates. So they change depending on what nation you are, what culture you are. So here we have basically the emirs, which is our army, the merchant guilds, and the almira, which is basically our religious section. Current shows it breaks it down to a loyalty, influence, and a land tabs or sections, and you can influence things by clicking on this again and then clicking on the certain interaction. Okay, so I think I'll leave it at that there today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully it's not too long. Hopefully I've explained this things correctly for you and you understand. Like I said, I won't profess to be an expert. I will direct you to any other channels or areas if you want to get extra information, but it's all about the fun and games really for this. So look, I hope you enjoy this. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and do leave the comments down below. What do you think of this? Do you think it'd be an interesting series, something you'd like to follow? I'm going to go ahead and start a series if I can, and we'll see if you follow along. Alright guys, well, take it easy. I am Pakera, and I am over and I am out. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.